morning. Let me just adjust you a little bit, because you can see like a very 80s bedspread behind. I don't think anybody, can you see this down here? I don't think anybody needs to see that. Yeah, that's not mine, by the way. It's been dug out through my son going camping, and it's just ended up, because it's gone really cold here. Yes, it's supposed to be summer, but I've just been for a walk and got thrown around quite a bit on the cliff path by the wind, and it's lovely actually. It's grey, but the sea's big and it's really nice and wild. Okay, today's reading is going to be your next happy moment. We're all waiting for that. You've got 3 choices: 10 of buckets, which is this one, which is the 10 of cups. I've only chosen because I like the pictures. You don't have to put any meaning behind them. It's up to you, really. And the Lover's card, I always love this one. And that's number 2. And number 3 is the 10 of stencils, which is the 10 of tentacles for number 3. So if you want to take your choice, and we'll look to see your next happy moment, on how to make the best of it, and maybe a little bit of advice so we can ham that moment up or make it last longer. Hey, okay, so there you go. Okay, trying to find a concrete happy moment. I think I can do it. I'm going to give you 2 alternatives, I hope so anyway. By the time I get to the end of the reading, I probably forgot what they are, but this has got an end to steadiness, or an end to lack of action, or even boredom. And I was leaving a phone message to my youngest sister today, and I've been really quiet and it's absolutely killing me, for I don't know, 4 or 5 months, where I've just kept quiet. And I know the reason why, which I won't go into because it would bore you probably, and I'm not really, it'd just bore you, I think. And it's been good for me, but I am so ready to do something that is out of my comfort zone. This feels like that. The reason I'm saying that, it's got something to do with women. It's got something to do with perhaps talking or sharing your ideas and possibly being encouraged. Whether these women are included with what you want to do next, I don't know. But there's definitely financial involvement and outlay in this. Let me explain. The centre pile, you've got the Queen of Cups and you've got the Ace of Swords. The Queen of Cups here is emotions, and this lady, unlike perhaps the cards in this card where they always look a bit sort of still, this one's more like flamboyant and giving out. So I guess that you're sharing something or telling somebody something that is heartfelt to you. You know, something that's important to you, somewhere you want to go, somebody you want to meet, or it's something that means a lot to you, and you have an emotional response. The Ace of Swords is normally the beginning of the Swords card, so it's like an idea. It's like an idea or something new you want to talk about or bring into the conversation, and it always feels exciting, the Ace of Swords, to me. Maybe because I've got so much air inside me, so much gas, that it feels as if, okay, I've got this. It's like a spark. I know it's not a spark because it's an air card, but it's like what are those bellows, like a bellow in your face. It's like, okay, woke me up. So you're talking to somebody. I don't know whether these people, or because you've got more women around here, know something about you, what you want to do. It's like ideas being shared, and it's exciting. You've got down here the King of Pentacles. As I said, I don't know, and it's sort of, well, it is over here, the same thing. You may need to put some money into this idea or this situation. My first thoughts, I want to put this out, is that you saying, this is where I want to go with my life, and I've been waiting for the right moment. As I said, phoning my sister, telling her that I've been really steady, and the conversation was going, oh, Saturn on the ascendant of your solar return. She talks to me back in the same language. You know, I know what it's like. It just feels as if it's really hard and you've got your head in the sand, and I feel like it's coming to an end. Do you think if it's just on the first house of your ascendant, of the solar return, that it just is the beginning of that year. And I was like saying to myself, yes, I think it is. And this feels the same. Saturn is trudge, it's head down, it's always there for a reason. It's so that you've got a foundation to be able to catapult forward. This is you catapulting forward with your basics. The King of Pentacles here and here is that you've got the foundation. You may have to lay some money out with this now, as I don't know whether this is just the foundation or the fact that you have to do something practical with it. Like start a course, start learning. There's a feeling of going on holiday here as well, perhaps with other people, or a journey or an expedition. Expedition sounds exciting. Or like a moving forward in work with an idea, like doing something for yourself. The reason why I think it may be something that is movement orientated, doing something like trekking, walking, moving, travelling by car, travelling by coach, because you've got here you've got the Knight of Wands and the King of Wands, and this is behind, so it's like a thought of something that you want to move that has energy behind it. And fire cards are movement. You can tell out of not all of them, but I feel that it's the most obvious. When somebody comes into a room and they are fire, you can sense it. The energy just almost bounces off them. They can't keep it in. They don't want to keep it in. They're supposed to be moving with it. And that may be you. The Emperor card and the Empress here are a couple. I don't really get anything in that, to be honest, because of the rest of the cards. But what I do feel, because you've got so many women, Queen of Cups, Queen of Wands, the Empress card, 3 women around the cups here, and the Emperor here. To me, it's like something creative that you formed that is action orientated, that is being shared and having an emotional response, possibly with a group of people, group of women. Maybe somebody offers you something. It's not just you sharing something you've thought, but you're just in the right space. Maybe somebody offers you something, an idea, a thought, a ticket, something just that gets you thinking, oh my gosh, that is it. You know when you get that feeling inside your chest and your heart skips and you think, that's the one. Again, talking about my sisters, I don't do this that much anymore, do I? I don't know. We always say when we book a holiday, or when we're looking at a holiday, you need to feel that excitement with it, or it's not your holiday. Because I think we quite compulsively travel, and I think I travel because it's like reading a book. It's like changing your perspective in life, and I need that. I don't like to be too still because it becomes staid very quickly. And I know that may be a problem, but I don't go anywhere or do anything compulsively. I don't do it just for the sake of it. But if I find a holiday that I like, I want to feel the excitement, or else I just think I can't afford it. You can find the money. Most of us can find the money. We've had these conversations in our house for things that we really, really feel are going to be life-changing in some way, and I feel this is, and money is part of this. You've got the Ten of Swords up here. It's like an ending. It's like something you've been wishing, waiting, almost like manifesting with the Wands cards here. Action orientated. Maybe you're at the helm here, as I said, of something creative, but it's an ending to something else. And hence why I gave you that really boring story at the beginning of Saturn on your ascendant, where you feel that it's time to stop building that foundation, trudging, to break that tie. I mean, if you may take Saturn around with you all the time if it's part of your birth chart, but you can get it just as a transit or a progression in some way. In some way. And sometimes you just want to break free of it. That's what it feels like. Again, you've got the Queen of Wands here and you've got the Three of Cups. Both of these are like women, sharing times, having fun, socialising, moving forward with ideas that have got that sort of, that's the one, I've got to do it. And I don't know whether it's travel, I don't know whether it's a new company, I don't know whether it's setting something up for yourself, a job opportunity, but it's the right thing to do. I do feel that there may be a situation here where you're playing with money. And as I said, I don't know, this isn't true because I know what it's like to be totally skint where you can't eat, or you can't put money in the electricity thing I used to have. But another conversation, again, I've had this week, not with my sisters, to be honest, was finding money for things that you enjoy. And I've got friends who eat out all the time. I don't eat out all the time. I always feel when I eat out that this is really weird, and I'm not a foodie really, and I come back and feel like I've wasted my money, and I'd rather spend it on moving or experiencing new things, which could be eating, but it's not to me. But we've got friends who spend, I would say, they eat out every night, so I don't know what that is. There's like 2 kids, I don't know, a couple of £100 a week on food. And that to me was shocking. Yeah, and it just is something that I just don't do. And I hadn't really thought about it, to be honest. Like, oh my gosh, yeah, that's quite a lot. But we all have, if you've got a little spare money, we'll put it into something that makes us feel like we are more of ourselves, I guess. So this is what this is about. It's finding the money, the 2 of Pentacles here. Maybe you've got savings. Maybe it's something that's really important to you. Maybe it is movement with friends. Maybe it's starting something creative. Maybe it's a job offer or somebody suggesting this is where you want to go. But it's something that makes you feel alive and you're ready for it. This to me, action orientated. The Emperor is self-motivated. The Wands cards here are self-motivated, and this is more action orientated. To me, it feels like, you remember those cars that you used to get as kids where they're like on not scare electrics, but on like tracks, and you have to basically push the car to rev the tyres up until it goes on its own. That's what those feel like. That's behind you, so you're ready to move. Moving forward again, this is more like, what should you do? Helping hand, the King of Pentacles, finances. It's like this card here is moving. You've actually started something off and you're waiting to see what's coming back. The 2 of Swords can be blocks, but these 2 are like, take the money out or find the money, do the practical things, sort out the practicalities, and be king of that decision or that choice. It's like, don't, oh my God, that's a lot of money, or do I really need to do that? It's like you've got to be in charge of that bit. I don't know what that means. To me, it would be being scared of spending money in case, it's a long winter. But it's saying that don't block yourself off too much, because the rest of the pile's got a lot of momentum, especially, as I said, with the wheels here. And with this too, it's like, just start it off, even if it's a small dipping your toes in. You've got to push something out to see what's going to come back. This is a really exciting pile. This is your end advice. It's the Hangman, always upside down. I'm going to turn it that way around, not for your reading, but just so it'll go back in the pile, because I always say they come up upside down. But it's like the Hangman is upside down. That's what it looked like when I found it. Oh, yeah, it's movement. If it's that way around, it's feet tied, but there's a lot of head action going on here. And a lot of the time, we through observations and through going inside ourselves, through our imagination and through watching experiences, we become a little bit more aware of ourselves, aware of life and how things move. But there are times as well, if you carry on doing that, you're not living, and we're here to do both. And that is saying it's time to move. So your next happy moment will be a bit of an epiphany. It will be like somebody supporting you or opening something up for you, and you think it's like, and I say this often, it's like opening the gate to a wild pony. It's like you've been revved up and you're ready to go. To me, there's a strong feeling that women are involved here, that it has a creativity, a sociability, an ability to be able to express yourself in some way. Finances are important. It will be the end of frustration. The Ten of Swords with this fire is like frustration. It's like something that's cut off, and it's like, thank the Lord. And you've got people around you. If you have been almost like cut off a little bit in life, been a little bit more introverted, with all these women around, it's like that's going to end. You've got to stick your hand in your pocket. I don't know what that means either. With the 2 of Pentacles here, it's like, oh gosh, weighing out, what should I do? And the King of Pentacles saying, I had a Sagittarius friend once. I've still got this Sagittarius friend. I just haven't seen him for a long time. He was very wild. He was Scorpio as well. Yes, we all know what that mixture makes. Yeah, we do. And he used to say on nights out that he had a reasonable amount of money when we were kids, but nobody else had any money. He just got his only money. He'd come back from the pub and spent 80 quid. You know, like we were drinking other people's dregs and spending £2.50, but he'd like spend 80 quid, his only money, and he was sat on the school bus. We weren't drinking in school, yes we were. You've got to get to that stage where it's only money. And that is what that would mean, because that blocks you off when you need to get something started. If you are a bit wanting to tiptoe a little bit, sorry, that's bad English, it's just push something out with this card, but you've got to move. Your next happy moment is recognising that, feeling that potential, that excitement. It's like a whole vista opens up in front of you and you feel alive again. So that is it. It's like somebody opens up an idea for you, or you open it up to somebody else and they run with it. It's excitement. And how many times have you done that in your life? I think everybody knows what that feels like a little bit. It's like sitting with somebody and saying, oh, I really fancy going here. And they're, oh, so do I. Or I'd really like to do this, my next job, and I know where there's an opening, that type of thing, and you're just chatting about it, and you come home from the meeting, or whether it's a coffee shop, and you're just wired because you're excited. That's your next happy moment. It's like opening up a new step in your life. Please get back to me if any of that comes into reality in the near future, because I'd be interested. Always interested. Right, I'm going to leave you there, pile number 2. Thank you very much. Bye. Okay, one more. Again, difficult to interpret, pile number 2, but there's something in here that feels almost a bit rebellious. It feels like you stick your neck out, you say something, possibly in a work situation, possibly it's like a skill or learning or applying yourself in some way. I'm thinking work situation, to be honest. It feels that you stick your neck out, you say something, you're quite confident in saying it. To me, there's a feeling here that nobody else agrees with you. And it's almost like they have to eat their words later on. Things change and you get the glory. This is what it feels like. I don't quite know what that means. And there's something very happy in that moment. It feels like success, and you want to say the words "I told you so," but you don't because you're so gracious. Let me go through it. You've got the Queen of Swords in the centre pile. The Queen of Swords is somebody who's quite mentally collected. She knows what she's saying. She knows how to say it properly to make a point. She's not fluffing. She's not adding emotions in there. She's just saying it straight. You've got here a skill. So this makes me think possibly in a work situation, applying yourself to some skill. Maybe it's delivering a talk, or because this is like speech, delivering a talk or applying it. Yeah, it's like, to me it feels like a meeting, like a work meeting, and you put your hand up and you say something, or you've got something to offer. It's like a speech or a bid or something like that, and people are like, oh, I don't know if that's going to work. And the Magician card here, it's like you put everything on the table, and to me it feels like it's got a unique feeling of things that other people haven't thought of and are difficult to take on at that moment. So I don't know what that means. I'm trying to translate this to different people because it feels like a work situation where you make a bid, or maybe even an interview or something like that, and people are unsure because you're different. There's like a unique feeling in here, and you're putting things out there, like ideas, and other people are like, well, no, we've not thought of that and I don't really like it. It's like, to me, and I'm imagining this because it's not in the card, you get a stuffy response because there's a bit of a glory after this. You've got the Chariot at the beginning. The Chariot is somebody who's focused. So you put those two together, you've got somebody putting everything on the table, the Magician card. This is what I've got. This is what I'm thinking. And you're just straight with it. Again, the Queen of Swords is to the point. You've got here doing something different. Both of these cards are looking backwards. You've got doing something different and looking back in the past. As I said, it could be an interview, in history, when you go for jobs. You need to know the past to be able to move something forward in the future. And I think you do a fantastic job of that. It's like you find holes in something, maybe the way that a company's been run, and you say, and I suppose you do this in like teaching interviews, where you've got to look at their Ofsteds and try and find out where the holes are. So you say, I can offer this. I don't think I've ever done this, but I think that's what you meant to do. I don't think I do it because it just feels really obvious. I just feel like I've done it on, you've read to do it. And I think people can sense that. But there is something in this pile, and you've got an alternative perspective, an alternative view, a way for possibly other people to root themselves out of something that they thought was familiar. Magician card. It's like manifesting something new. The Queen of Cups here doesn't really fit in, but because these cards are quite forthright and harsh, the Queen of Cups is possibly, the way that you deliver it is very personable. You see people like Dragon's Den. Is it that? I don't know what other countries you get, in other countries, whether you get the same thing. It's just a row of people, or people come in and they're trying to present something, sell something. I'd be absolutely bloody awful at that. But I think a lot of people are more personable than others, and I think the way you deliver it is that people can relate to you, possibly with these cards here, amongst the other cards. Then you've got what I guess is where the glory comes from over here, and advice down here. The Death card here is change. It's almost like, I don't know whether you get good feedback or a response from the situation or the interview, because I do think it's work orientated. It could even be going for a loan or something like that. This is the central card, so that's what's smacking me in the face. With the Death card here, it's like change, but the Hermit card and these two cards are unusual together. The Hermit card is normally very straight but very internal, like a very profound introvert. This card here is a bit like emotional jelly. So what would that mean together? Choices, different options, knowing which one to take, the Hermit card. And the Three of Pentacles to me would be, Three of Pentacles, it's going to reflect on this one here, which is a Pentacle card. It's going to be working as part of a team, perhaps, because these are like a bit like guts and glory cards. You get what you want here. It's like you join a team, you're given options, there are alternatives that you perhaps need to look into, or they get you to investigate something, different options, going inward. And the Three of Pentacles is a team, but it's like change. I feel that you are, it does feel like presenting something. I don't know why, because of the work card there. And the Magician card is making something out of nothing, really. And the Queen of Cups is actually possibly verbalising or explaining, or even if it's written down, it's something like that. These cards here are action orientated, and this is like confidence. Let me give them to you. Where's my stupid phone? Let me switch it off. Oh, I can't, it's tech. Can't use tech. These cards here are like glory, victory, and this card is movement, and it's got what I guess is confidence and action, confidence. So it's like winning and moving with it. It could suggest that it's important to seize that moment, seize the day, move with it, why it's on fire, or why you've got an opening or an acceptance. It's like push a little bit here, I would say. And you've got here, you may still have to continue fighting for that position with this card here. If I could imagine it in my head, which I am, it's like you standing up in a meeting, and I can only imagine it with things that I've possibly experienced myself or seen other people doing, and saying something that everybody else is poo-pooing. Well, don't be so ridiculous, inside their head. That's not going to make sense. And then it almost like sinks in. It's like you're way ahead of yourself. It's way ahead of time. It's like you say something that isn't normal, that isn't every day, but you're like pulling it out the bag in a really good way that people can relate to. Something different, something forthright. And it's like it sinks in, and then the opening starts, and you've got to run with it. It's like there's teamwork, probably people involved. You've got to run with it, and you'll always have to hold your own with this card here. The advice card at the end is the King of Wands, and that is confidence and action, movement, you being the boss, you being the person that says what's going on, what's happening next, you taking charge and having a bit of verve about it. Yeah, and I can't think of a different word. It is like confidence in yourself and what you're delivering. So I don't know if that means anything to anybody, but that is what I've got with regards to your next moment will be people having to eat their words. because you're just so magnificent. It's something, some idea you've got, something that you say, people are like, oh my God, you know, he was right, she was right. And that makes sense. It's like trying to get a book published or something. You send the book off, it keeps getting sent back. And then somebody says, actually, you know, that is a really interesting concept. It's just too different. Or it's like keep moving with something, very focused. These are words or communication. And then everything starts changing. Maybe you've got to re-edit bits or something, but you keep moving with it. It's keeping yourself moving, whatever that is. If you've got something in the back burner that you need to present to people, whether it's an idea, whether it's a book, whether it's an interview, it's do it. And don't be afraid to be yourself, because people can't accept, you may not have accepted your differences in the past, but something in this is like a complete change. So I'm going to leave you with that pile number 2. I was about to say 3, but you're 2. And good luck. Yeah, good luck with that. That feels exciting. Right. Thank you very much. Bye. Okay. Out of all the spreads, this has got an emotional feeling in it. It's got a lovely feeling of being recognised. It's, oh my gosh, we all know this feeling, don't we? And we all like to be loved, even if we say we're really grisly and we're really gnarly, and we say we don't, we do. This has got a feeling of you possibly feeling unlovable, maybe, with these 2 cards here. You've got the Hangman and you've got the 8 of Swords. The Hangman is doing a lot of watching, a lot of waiting, and the 8 of Swords is often a time when it's like you tie your heart in, to be honest. I know it's Swords cards, which is your mind, but with the rest of the spread, it's like you bind your heart up and think, I'm just going to keep this to myself. I'm not going to let anybody else touch my little soft heart anymore. I'm just going to keep it to myself. But you've got the Knight of Cups here. To me, it's somebody coming towards you and recognising you, sharing their little heart with your little heart, and it's like little kisses going on. The Sun card, open, clarity, childlike. You know, like kids. Don't we all love kids? Not all of them, but most of them. When you see them, like in the playground, or your own kids, or somebody else's kids, and they only I'll get to grown-ups in a minute, and they just say things like, I think you're fantastic, or will you be my friend, or I love playing with you. We lose that as we get older. I was just about to say the only people that do that, there are others, they're fire people, basically. Leo, Sagittarius definitely, and Aries. Normally people who have that, I'm really quite introverted, and if I go out anywhere, it's the fire people that drag me out, because they're just open, and it's just like they pull me out places, and you often get them. They just say, I really like being you. I met you. I had a friend, Sagittarius, and she actually tracked me down. We'd met and we were chatting years and years ago, and she tracked me down. She said, I enjoyed talking to this lady so much that I needed to see her again. Often does that happen in your life? I was just in shock. And anyway, we were friends for years. That's just the way that they work. Openness, clarity, warmth, they radiate outwards. Don't we love fire people? Oh, in fact, I think we're all beautiful in our own little ways. It just is, different experiences at different times, I suppose. But this is what it is. Keeping yourself tightly bound, watching, wondering, and then in comes love, and then it all opens up. You've got the Queen of Cups here, and we've had this in the centre pile in, I think, pile 1, and the Queen of Cups is like, in this, normally, where are these, in these cards, let me find one. Of course, I flipping well can't. Okay, most of these cards have got the character central looking at you, and it always looks a bit sort of staid, but in the Queen of Cups in this card, it's like open, arms open, the water moving around, so there's a feeling of emotional openness here. And look at you and your little chops, just so happy. Nine of Cups is the card of smug, and that is the word I always think of when I see it's like, look at me, really smug. It's just happy. It's like, yeah, I knew it. I thought it, but I'd just given up. And the King of Pentacles down here could be the other person, whether it's male or female. Oh my gosh. Let me put something on that because there's a mixture there. That's very, very open, but it doesn't have to be the actual person. It could be the situation. Let's just put one over the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles as a person, sorry, King of Pentacles. It's a female, it doesn't matter either way. It's somebody, a business person, somebody who normally keeps their emotions quite to themselves until they know what they're feeling. In charge of themselves. Probably above the age of 30, I would guess, with the King card there. Maybe a lot of Capricorn, Virgo. What's the other one? Taurus in there. Oh. To me, I don't know what these cards mean, but to me, to have those cards over the King of Pentacles, it's like somebody who had an ideal. The Ten of Pentacles, what does the King of Pentacles want more than grabbing all the pentacles together and accumulating them? It's like the end of a journey, and there's some loss there. So there may be a feeling here that they thought that you weren't that keen, or that you weren't interested in some way, or because that's a happy Kingy Pentacles, holding on to all this accumulation of something that they actually want, stability. It could be financial. But with this card here, people getting married, it's like a connection that can run the mile. Does that make sense? Is that a phrase? It's not. That's got wheels. What is it? Not baggage. It can go somewhere is what I'm trying to say. And they thought it wasn't going to go anywhere, or they thought that you weren't interested, but these two little cups, which are down here being presented to each other. Oh, I love you lot. Look, the 2 cups here, which is basically how it should move forward. Let's go here. The Justice card is equality. That has been hinted at already in here. You feel there's nothing going on. They feel there's nothing going on. The Justice card is weighing things up. You've got here the King of Wands. Not appreciating what's been offered. What is that? Choices, decisions. There may be more people involved in. No, that doesn't. Oh God, I don't know. Secrets. It's like a person who has. One of you have either been keeping secrets. There might be something secretive about the attraction or the relationship here. So it's been difficult to perhaps air things. And the 8 of Cups down here. He's walking away from what emotionally? Oh no, stability. King of Pentacles won't do that. The challenge of stability. It's like emotionally walking away from a situation that felt like it was a challenge to be stable, possibly, with these cards here. To me, this is a great big airing of affection, attraction to each other that you've both been wondering about, possibly both been wondering who's going to make the first step. This is like glee and smug. Woohoo in the middle here, and you've got somebody offering something that opens up your heart and there's clarity. It feels fair, it feels equal, because this person on this side is wondering whether it's like secretive, it's choices between what they offered, will it be taken up? You're both feeling, I think in this, whether you're both wondering whether the other is attracted to you. Sorry, I can't say that, but with regards to moving forward, the Page of Wands, oh, I know what you had first. This was the first card I got out, which is reciprocation. If there's somebody that you're attracted to and you don't know how to show them because you feel like, it's like, just show them. This is saying that you'll get the same back. If you're warm with somebody, they will give you that warmth back, and that's what the whole spread is saying. And this is how you're going to feel. Smuggy glee. The Page of Wands is just do something. Start something, begin something, however small. The Judgment card could suggest it could change to something big. This card fell out on top, and I kept it in because I like the man's prickly bum. Can you see it? It's just attraction. To start with the 2 of Cups, to end in the Lovers card for advice is just show your attraction. It could lead on to more. It could lead on to more. The last card is again an advice card. The Ten of Swords is the ending. It's like something, and to me, that way around is the ending. It's like something is about to end. And I would suggest to go back here and on this side, on both sides really, these two people looking at each other with cards of what I guess is should I, shouldn't I behind them, but with happiness in the centre. So, as you probably guessed, what I'm going to say here, your next fantastic moment is going to be a reciprocated love moment where somebody shows you that they like you, or you hear something or something said, and I feel that you're both, it's like more like game on. It's like, this is fun, this is going to be exciting, and you relax into being able to contact each other or connect with each other in a way that is more easygoing, more flowing, more showing. Poet. It's the end of hiding, the end of wondering. This to me has got a feeling like you're not, I don't mean it in a strong way at all, but there is an inkling of feeling that you don't think you're, I don't know how to put it into words. You don't really think this person could fancy you. And they're thinking exactly the same. And how often does this happen in life? Very, very often. Isn't it so lovely, though, when somebody just says you're lovely or that you're attractive or, just something nice to you? I'll pull the cards away and I'll tell you what I mean by this because I'm just packing up now. But I was out the weekend and there's a Leo Sagittarius lady that I know. I haven't really spoke to her that... We always speak in passing, but we went out for a night out together. And she was saying that she was nervous about coming out, because there was lots of other people there. And I was like, well, didn't really understand it from her, what she was talking about. And anyway, my daughter had seen her shouting at me in the car, saying, I'm nervous. She said, oh yeah, no, I'm dreading going out. And I said, what are you scared of? They're shouting across the street at each other like fishwives. And she said, you... Anyway, she was saying when she was out that she just gets a bit nervous going out. And I said, well, my daughter saw you shouting at me. She thought, what a lovely woman. How expressive, how fun. And you could see her whole body just puffed out a couple more centimetres. It was like, oh my gosh, that's lovely. And it just is, people should tell. We should all tell each other more how fantastic we are. Does that make sense? Each other, not just ourselves. We should. Yeah, because not if it's false, obviously, not if it's false. But if you think it, if you feel it, then I think it's a good idea to say it. Yeah, I'm going to leave you with that. I'm going to love you and leave you. Thank you very much for sharing your time with me. Bye.